Hi, welcome to Crafty Little Things. I just wanted to come back and just finish off this storage that I've been sort of showing you bit by bit. You'll remember, or you may remember, that I showed you the little Tombow holder with the bone folder pocket in it, and then I also showed you the embellishment, the large embellishment holder with the magnetic closure, and I also have some with ribbon closures. Well, I also have a packeted embellishment holder that I can flick through, and it's getting a bit full, so I thought I need to make another one, and I've got some that I can't fit in it, and I store like my doilies and things at the bottom in the front, and then other stick-on embellishments at the back. So I'm going to make myself another one of those. That's 6 by 3 by 3, I think. Yeah, 3 yeah, this one's 5 by 3 by 6, and this measurement's 3. Okay, and then I'm going to make another smaller one because I keep all my I've got some bits you see that won't fit in there, and I keep my dimensionals and stuff in here, and it's just a little box that I made, which really I just made to just drop little die cuts and things in. So I want that back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another one of these, and then I'm going to make a smaller one that's 1.5 inches by 5 by 3 by 4 at the back, to hold my dimensionals and my doilies, and I've got more space. So for that one then, we need a piece of cardstock. I mean, there might be an easier way to do this, but this is just the way I found easiest. Need a piece of cardstock that measures, I'm just going with the full width, so this is 8 1/4, but it doesn't need, you don't need to do that, but I am going with that. It just gives you more space at the bottom to overlap underneath. So that's 8 1/4 by 11. And on the long side, I've scored it at 3 and at 8 inches. So these measurements then in centimetres are 21 centimetres by 28 centimetres, and score at 7.6 and 20.3. And then on the short side, I've scored at 6 inches, which is 15.2 centimetres. But on these sides, from the top, without this score line, I've just measured down 3 inches and just put a notch on each side. Okay, so just put a notch on the 3 inches down the side. Then for the bottom, for the bottom piece, you need a piece that measures 5 by 7 inches. So that's 12.7 centimetres by 17.8 centimetres. And on the long side, I've scored it at 1 and at 6 inches. So that's 2.5 and 15.2 centimetres. And on the short side, I've just scored it at 3. So that is 7.6 centimetres. Okay, and that will slot into that, and these will be cut down. And then I've done some, I'm trying to stick with my pink and black and white theme so everything looks the same. So I've just done a couple of panels to put on my sides, which will be cut down, and I've made a panel for my front, which will just go in there. So I'm just using up any black and white DSP I have, and any pink that I have, really. Okay, so it's really super simple to do. All you need to do is just get either your scissors, or you can use your trimmer, and what you want to do, sorry, got quite a bit of stuff on my desk. What you want to do is just line up this 3-inch mark with that score line there in your trimmer, or just cut it off with a pair of scissors. You can do it with a ruler, It's the wrong side really, but never mind. You can do it with a ruler, just draw a line and then follow the line, or however you... I'm sorry for the disruption there. My memory card, when it's full, it just stops recording. It does give me a beep, but it doesn't give me a warning of any that it's about to run out or anything. So I just cut from that diagonal to this diagonal. I burnished my score lines to make everything fold in like this, and I just cut up these two horizontals. You will see me do it again because I'm going to make a smaller version. And now might be a good time to get your side panels right. So put it where you want it to go. This is what I do anyway. And then I just get my ruler and I just bring it down like 1/4 inch inside there, and I just draw a line and I'll just cut that line now. You can just pop it in your trimmer obviously, but I'm not going to mess about with that. And then of course again check your direction as well of your pattern, and then I'm just going to use that as a template for the other one, and then decide which pattern you're going to use, whether you're going to use the larger one or the smaller one. I think I'll use that one for this one. And then you can fix your panel on. At this point. The one that I've just shown you, the one that I'm using already, that one has a divider in it between, I'll show you, it has this divider between the dimensionals and the embellishments, and you can put dividers in if you want to. I'm not going to bother this time because I'm just going to have I'm not going to have dimensionals and embellishments. I'm going to have my dimensionals and my doilies are going to go in all my dimensionals are going to go in a separate box. Okie doke. And then when it's done, that'll just come in like that, and then the other side, the front is going to sort of wrap around. So again, let's just do, oops, sorry. Let's just fold and burnish these score lines. I mean, there might be an easier way to do this. You might know a better way to do it. But for me, it just made sense to make it in 2 pieces, especially when I've only got A4 cardstock. So I'm going to cut these pieces. And so that's how it's going to go. Those edge panels underneath, and then my front panel will come across the bottom, okay? And these 2 panels come into the sides. So what I want to do is I want to lose these panels all together, these little, the shorter of the 2 long rectangles on each side. And then I'm going to just notch that in just to make it look tidy when it's finished. And then I'm just going to pop my panel onto the front. It's a gorgeous paper, this. I love black and white papers. This is just because all the rest of my homemade desk tidy stuff is all this pink, is all rose red with a black and white paper finish, so makes sense to carry on that way. And then I'm just going to stick that there so that it's between the score line there and that point where I cut off at 3 inches. And then I'm just going to bring that around to glue there. And then we've got our shape forming here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the back down, the 2 side flaps, and then the front, okay? And that's how it's going to go. I am going to put a little bit of glue. I don't always put glue in all of my flaps, but I am going to put some on there and there, just because it might end up holding quite a bit of weight. And then I'm just going to pop glue all over there. Fold that down. Make sure it's square. Get my Tombow lid on and give it a good pressing down. And also just give those sides a bit of a press. And if you have overlapped a little bit, just trim off. There we go. And there we go. There's our box. So now I can put some more of my bits and bobs in it, because I'm, like I say, I'm overflowing with bits and bobs. So I need to put some new, I needed a new box. So I'll pop those in there just for now. And there we have it, and that's what they look like. I've got an absolute mountain of stuff over there that needs to go into some sort of storage. But they look really cute and they look nice on the side. And what I tend to do is I've got all of these holders and boxes and stuff, and I put them all on a big tray so that I can just lift it off. I mean, and these will go back to back as well. You can even glue 2 together and make a proper, you know, like caddy. You can stick them onto a base as well. You could even back them off to each other with a smaller one, or you could stick a Tombow station to the back of one side and a dimensional station to the back of the other, and then just put them all on a tray, and they're just so easy to move around, shift around, and to just keep tidy, but to keep everything accessible. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a smaller version now, simply because, like I said, I have all, you know, my dimensionals and the smaller packets, doilies and things like that, that really need to go somewhere. And that box is really for things like things I've already cut out and I'm about to use for projects. So like die cuts and things like that. That's all that little box was ever meant for. So it's ended up getting hijacked for other things. I put memory cards in there and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a box, a slanted front box for those, for my dimensionals. So this measures 11 by 6 inches. So that's 28 centimetres by 15.2. And it's scored at 3 and 8, which is 7.6 and 20.3. And then on the long side, it's scored at 4. And here, I don't know if you can spot this, but at 2.5 inches on each side, it's got a little notch marked in it, so 2.5 inches down from the top, just notching a little mark, because you'll be following that mark to cut your edges. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So I'm just going to line those up and cut that off. Line the notch up, line the top of the score line and get rid of that. And that'll just make that the right shape. This is just a smaller version of the one we made before. Okay. So we do it exactly the same. So we're going to cut up to that first horizontal. And this time I am actually going to notch these in, because they did overlap considerably on the last one, and I don't want them to overlap, so I'd rather cut them off now than risk damaging the box when it's finished. Right, so now I can put side panels on. So I've got 2 side panels pre-cut, and they measure about 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, so 9.5 centimetres by 7 centimetres. And again, you can pop it on, you can either just cut it off, you can work it out mathematically, which is what I did for my bigger ones, or you can just use your ruler, pop that in position, give yourself a little bit of an edge so that you've got a little bit of your pink showing, and just draw a line. Okay, and then you can either use your trimmer, or you can just cut that off, and then you can just do the other one the same. And you can either you can use the same design again, or because I've used lots of different black and whites, I think I'll go with a different black and white, so I'll use the reverse of that. Okay, right. Now, it does really help just to have things so easily to hand. And I have a big IKEA unit, and what I do is I just have a spare drawer, and if I want it all out of sight, I just take my tray over there and I just pop everything into the drawer, out of the way, and it's gone. And it's all safe and easy to get out again when I want it again. Yeah. Again, we're going to do that fold. This is just going to be a smaller, narrower one. So then we'll just burnish and prepare this one. Remember with this one that your short side is the side that is actually going to be your front. because it's easy sometimes to forget that and think that because you're so used to your shorter side being the bit that goes out of the way. So what I'd advise is, so that you don't forget, is to pop your DSP on now so that you don't forget. And then what you're going to do is cut away these two longer rectangles this time. Cut those away and notch that in so you get a nice tidy finish. So cut the longer side away this time. I think sometimes when I'm doing lids where the sides are bigger than the bit that you don't see is bigger than the bit you do see, kind of thing, it's so easy to forget, isn't it? Because you're just so used to cutting off the smaller sections. And then I'm just going to attach that there, so I'm just going to line up this score line with this score line and this score line with the edge. Oops. And then I'll put some glue on there. Do the same thing. Press that down. This is the thing about these, they can be sent as a set to somebody in the post. They can be flat packed like that with tape. And then you can tell someone to watch the video to see how to assemble them if they wanted to use them. And then I'm going to pop my sides down, my back and my front. Okay. So what have I put my glue away for? I'm just going to avoid that middle bit so I don't get glue coming through the bottom. Yeah. So I'm just going to use my bone folder just to really press that down. To press those down. Oh, and that's fabulous. So now I've got somewhere better to put all my dimensionals and they all fit. Oh, that's better. So now I've got my dimensionals in there and I can pop my doilies in there as well at the back. And that is so much better. And it means they're so accessible. I can just have the doilies, the dimensionals like that. I don't even have to take them out of the box. I can just peel them straight off. So that is perfect. And I mean, even if you've got cards that you've made, you can stack them in there. My little divider fits in both boxes, which is quite handy. And then I can separate some of this stuff out now and pop some more stuff in, because I've got these bigger packets of embellishments and stuff that need to go somewhere, so now they can go in there and I can have all of this storage going down, and it all matches. And again, like I say, you could back two of these together. You could have doilies in one or stickers or something, or you could back them, you back those together like that, and you could back one of those on or maybe it doesn't quite fit, but, or you could just get one of those and attach your little glue station to it. I mean, I sort of just have mine, like I say, on a tray, so I'll just have them like this, and I have this on top of my embellishments usually. And now I've got my little tray back, so I can put my little bits and bobs in it. And my wobblies and things like that need somewhere to go. They've got nowhere to live either. So yeah, just easy homemade storage for your bits and bobs. I've also got these slightly bigger ones, these, for my embossing folders and also for my dies. So I've just got a whole range of this storage, which is so easy to make and just looks really cute. Alright, so thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.